Hello everyone, this is Akash Chauhan, and in today's video session, we will look into how to set up Scala so that we can execute our first basic program written in Scala. And in future lectures, we will explore more about Scala. But in today's session, we will focus on how to set up Scala in your system. So we have two ways. First is, you know, like I have Mac, but most of you might be having Windows. So I'll explain how to, set up Scala in Windows, and then I'll give you the brief of how you can execute the Scala software and how you can set up Scala in your Mac as well. But the very important thing before even installing Scala is you need to make sure that you would have the Java JDK already would be there. Okay, so how to know that? Simply open the command line and simply type Java and version. Okay, this will give you the information whether you have installed the external JDK or not. Okay, so in that case, if you are not having, then you must pre-install the JDK as well, because I have already told you that if you write something in Scala, it will be converted into the bytecode, and that bytecode will be transferred to the JVM. So JVM will be provided by the JDK you would install in your PC. Most of you would be having JDK already installed, but in case you don't have, please first install JDK, okay, and then move to the setup with the Scala. So I have given the link over here as well. Okay, I'll provide this PDF with this video session, so you would get this link. So go to this link and download the binary file, or the execution file from the uh, website. Once you click over the application file in Windows, this is for Windows. Okay, it will give you this interface. Okay, once you click over the execution of the application file. Okay, uh, this license thing would come after, once you are going with this flow. Okay, going with this what to say, these steps. Okay, so these are the steps. I'll share this document with you, don't worry about that. It is simple, it is usually the way you install other software, it is similar to that. You just need to accept the license and then go through this setup. Okay, once you are done, it means Scala is there. So we can execute our basic program. So once you are done with the installation, you can start writing a Scala program in any text editor. So let's say you're using Notepad and Notepad++. You simply copy this code. Okay, this is the class object hello world we are creating. This is the main function, and this is print hello world print. Already told you this semicolon thing is optional in Scala. Okay, this semicolon thing is optional. So Scala is not required to have the semicolon always. So if this is the program and we have already installed the Scala, then let's move on to the execution and the compilation of the program. Okay, this is for the Windows software. If you're having the Windows, then you would go with that. I have already discussed this picture with you, where you have the Scala program written in Scala. You use Scala C command to compile the program. It will convert your code into bytecode, and that bytecode using this scala.abc will use JVM, respective JVM. If you are using JVM over Windows, it will use the JVM that machine. If you are using Mac like I am using, it would use the JVM at my machine, and it will execute the bytecode into the uh, executable code. We have already discussed this. If your program name would come first and then the Scala with extension, and you have to use Scala C, okay, for the compilation, and Scala for this would be your class file. Okay, we will see what is the class file. I have written a basic code. I'll show you the code I have discussed. I have already written. So just give me a second. So as you can see, this is the hello world class in which I have created the hello world object, and the same thing I have mentioned over there. It will, if this program will be executed, then it would print hello world. Okay, somehow. So uh,
there, as you can see, if we compile this, there would be a byte class, or the class file would always be there, and then we can execute that class file using the Scala command, and we can compile this using Scala C. So in Windows, the process is different. In what to say, in Mac it is different to install Scala. So I'll show you. Just give me a second. So, so I have already given you the link where you can download the Scala. Okay. So for Mac, you have to download the Scala, which is related to the Mac, and which would be something like .tgz file. It is a zip file meant to be installed over the Mac OS. Okay. So you will find that file over the same link I have mentioned earlier. Once you download that zip file, you unzip that file, okay, or extract that file, and it will extract into the same folder. Let's say Scala 1.2.3. Okay. Once you unzip that file, copy that folder into the home directory. Okay. Let's say I am the user. Akash Chauhan is the user in Mac. So what I'll do, I'll simply copy paste over here. You can see Scala 2.13.1. So I have simply copy pasted that zip file over here. And after that, my job is to add this into the environment variable. Okay, then only I'll be able to use it. So in Mac, there is no such option of double click on something and then you would install the software. When you install Scala in Mac, this is the process what I'm going to show you. Okay, so what you need to do after extracting that file and copy paste that file into your home directory. Okay, whatever the username is there, let's say XYZ you using, and the username is different, so you would simply copy paste that Scala over here. Okay, so what you need to do is simply right click on that, okay, your user home directory, and then go to the terminal. Okay, I'll just give me a second. Okay, let me increase the font size. Just a second. Okay, so once you are there in home directory, if you type this ls minus cl command, okay, so it will show you all your directory files and folders. So our job is to add the bin directory, okay, the bin directory file into the profile file. Okay, so what you need to do, let me clear, and I'll show you the path is actually users and Akash Chauhan. Because why it is users, because I am in my home directory. Okay, whatever the user directory is there, I am inside that user directory or the home directory. And as you can see, this Scala folder is there. Okay, and if you want to check this Scala, just hold on. Okay, so you can see there is a bin folder over there, and in bin folder, as you can see, there are many scala.bat, scala.c, which is we are going to use. Scala is actually the executable file we are going to use to execute our program. This is the Scala C library, which we'll use to compile our program. So we need all these programs in our profile. Okay, profile means wherever you are in the computer, if you simply use Scala, let's say I'm using Scala over here, but it is saying that it is not being found. Okay, so it is saying that you have not added the executable file into the environment variable. Okay, that's why the Mac is not able to find these commands. Okay, this is Scala command is not able to figure out. Okay, so how to add these library files into the bash file or your profile file? There are two ways. The simplest way, I'll tell you what to do. Simply type open hyphen e, and then there is a bash file underscore profile. Okay, so okay, so we have to be in our the user directory for that.
So this is the user directory. In that, what you need to do, again, the use the same command. Okay. So as you can see, I have added this extra line over here. Okay. It is saying that it will add these whatever inside the bin, it will add in the path of the environment variable. You just need to see this is the user, Akash Chauhan is the user, and in that I have added this folder, and in that there is a bin folder. So you can use the same, just change the username. If you are using the Mac, you simply need to change the username over here. You can simply copy paste this into your this bash profile. You simply close it. Okay, I have already added it. If it is not there, you simply use the same open dot hyphen e and dot bash profile command. So as you know, all these the libraries we can see over here, these libraries are inside this bash profile. The path is there, but as you can see, we have not installed any software as of now. So every time you have to, what you need to do, you have to execute this bash file. Okay, just bash. So what the source would do, it would add this environment path into the execution of the, let's say, the RAM of your computer, or the execution environment of your computer. So all whatever we have mentioned in the bash profile, okay, bash profile would have the path for your Scala. So if we execute it, if we source it, okay, it means it would at present it would add the path to the environment of this computer. So if I simply execute it and if I type Scala, it would, just give me a second, I'll show you. Okay, so it is showing Scala, and here we can simply execute any command, like say the print. It is similar to Java. We no need to use the semicolon, and it is there. To quit, you simply use this and it will get you out of this column. But as you can see here, we have to use the code over here, but we don't want to use code directly over here. We want to use code in a file, and then we want to use Scala C, and then giving the path, and we have to do this like this. Okay, we want like this compilation in the execution, and then we will use Scala and then ABC. So with this approach, it is actually opening the Scala in terminal. We want to use Scala in the text editor, and then we will use the command. So as you can see in the same user profile, I have created this Scala workspace. So what I'll do, I'll go into this Scala workspace. Get back to you. Yes, so the problem was with the space. So whenever you create any folder, as you can see, there is no such space in between the names of your folder. Okay, so I have used earlier the space, so I have removed the space, and it is simply saying that I have created this program in the this folder is Scala workspace. Okay, so to compile that, what I need to do, I'll use Scala C, and then I'll use the name. Okay, hello world for the Scala. It may give you some warning, so because I have used a very simple annotation. Okay. Scala workspace. Uh, Let me open this. Okay. Some Actually I have changed the name, so it is showing some error. What I'll do, this is, as you can see, there are dot class file over here, and that dot class file, it is showing some warning, okay, related to the deprecation warning. You can ignore. Simply use Scala, and then you have to use this class file name. Okay, this class file, whatever it is, okay, whatever it is, you have to use that class file name, and then it will show you this message written in the this okay, sorry, this
Yeah, so as you can see, uh, this was the program we were discussing, okay, and has printed the hello world for the term. So this is the way you always make sure that whenever you use a Scala, you source the file. So there is a command, the source dot bash file, or you can create your own, this source dot bash file. Even you don't want to use the centered bash file, you can create your own profile file. But every time you have to execute or source this file, because what you need to do whenever you give the path, this bin path, to the execution environment of the computer, it will set up the Scala in the execution environment will be provided for the Scala. Then only you will be able to use Scala. So you can start Scala then only. Okay. So whenever you use, please go through. I think in Windows you don't need to go through this whole process, because there is a external installation process. So with any IDE, let's say Eclipse or IntelliJ, you simply write that .scala code and you can execute it directly from there as well. Okay. So this is all for today's. In today's lecture, we have covered actually the how to install Scala or Windows in Mac, and how to execute the very first program in Scala. So guys, if you have any problem, you can comment down below. Okay. And thank you so much guys for today's lecture.